solve any problem you have, right? And whether I can Google search it, I can find an app to do it. There's an empowering nature in that. So that's the thing that I'm seeing that's missing, is because you go in a lot of urban areas and they just don't feel like they can solve their own problems, right? Because no one's kind of said, hey, this is your outlet to the world. If you want to know how to do something, it's as easy as typing, how do I do X in Google? And there's 20 resources, right? I wrote a blog post one time about what it takes to build an iPhone app, right? So I did a Google search. First thing I found was that there's a course on iTunes that's taught at Stanford that you can download for free, that's updated every semester. So the same class that they're learning at Stanford, you can learn for free at your house. The second thing I did was went to the local library, and there was about 4 or 5 books on iPhone development. Then lastly, I said, well, how much does it cost to launch an iPhone app into the Apple Store? It's $99, right? So I said, okay, we'll map that against the cost of starting a restaurant, a laundromat, you know, any of those things. Right? It's the equivalent of the cost of Jordans, the old Jordans, not the new Jordans. But the barriers are really low. But I can guarantee you, in the inner city, no one's had that conversation, right? Because if you, and it goes back to my earlier point about kind of feeling ourselves, right? Because sometimes we get in the nature of making things sound complex when they're really not, right? And kids kind of get mystified by that. We need to talk in their vernacular and say, hey, here's the opportunity for you. Any passion you can show me, I can show you how technology can turn that passion into a business. And we got to move them away, because what happens now is 90% of the kids you talk to, all their passions are around music and entertainment. And it's only because that's all they know, right? And I tell these kids, look, I've met every celebrity you could think of, and never sang, even though I think I can sing a little bit, but I've never carried a tune. But I have real relationships with these people because of the uniqueness of my talent, right? That's the message we need to communicate. And everyone in this room has the roles you have because of the uniqueness of your talent. To me, that's, the access is one thing, but communicating that message is actually more powerful.